You can tell someone I love you 100 times a day and it still won't mean anything if you're not doing the one thing I'm about to show you. Words are easy, flowers are easy, even grand romantic gestures are easy. But real love quietly reveals itself in small moments that most people overlook, when there's nothing to gain and when it would be so much easier to just not. If you've ever wondered whether someone genuinely loves you, or if you're holding on to empty promises, this video might completely change the way you see love. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to look for, and you might even realize someone's been doing it for you this whole time and you never noticed. Here's the thing, nobody tells you about love. Most of us were taught to look for the big stuff, the grand gestures, the flowers, the "you're the love of my life" texts at midnight. But real love doesn't live in the big moments. It lives in the small, boring, unglamorous ones. The ones that don't make it onto anyone's highlight reel. And that's exactly why so many people miss it. They're scanning for fireworks when the answer has been sitting quietly in front of them the entire time. If you've ever wondered whether what you're in is actually love or just a really convincing performance of it, hit subscribe right now. Because I'm about to break down the one behavior that separates the two, and trust me, you'll want this in your back pocket for every relationship going forward. Okay, let's get into it. When someone truly loves you, they show up for you consistently, even when it costs them something. Not when it's convenient, not when they're in a good mood, not when you've made it easy for them. Consistently on the boring Tuesdays, the bad hair day mornings, the moments you're not even trying to be lovable. Psychologists call this responsiveness. It's not about romance, it's about reliability. It means when you reach out, they reach back. When you're struggling, they don't disappear because it's inconvenient. When you need them, busy doesn't become their favorite excuse. Think about it this way. Anybody can love you on your best day. Anybody can show up when you're fun, easy, put together. That's not love, that's convenience wearing love's jacket. Real love shows its face on the hard days. The days you're short-tempered. The days you cancel plans because you're overwhelmed. The days you're not bringing anything exciting to the table. If they're still there on those days, without keeping score, without making you feel like a burden, that's your answer. Let me paint you a picture, because I know some of you are nodding but you're not fully convinced yet. Say you've had the worst day of your month, nothing dramatic, just death by 1,000 small cuts, traffic, a snippy coworker, your card got declined at the worst possible moment. You're not even upset about one big thing, you're just depleted. Now here's where it gets telling. Someone who loves you doesn't need you to explain why you're quiet tonight. They notice the shift in your energy before you say a word. They don't demand you perform fine for their comfort. They just adjust. Maybe that's ordering food instead of asking what's for dinner. Maybe it's just sitting next to you in silence instead of filling the air with questions. Compare that to someone who only shows interest when you're bringing them something. Good news, good energy, good vibes. The second you bring anything less, they get distant, irritated, or check out completely. One of those people is loving you. The other one is loving what you provide them. Here's why consistency matters more than intensity, psychologically speaking. Your nervous system doesn't actually care about grand declarations. It cares about patterns. Every time someone shows up for you reliably, your brain quietly files that away as safe. And over time, that safety is what lets you actually relax into a relationship instead of constantly bracing for disappointment. But here's the flip side, and this is important. When someone is inconsistent, hot one week, cold the next, attentive when they want something, distant when they don't, your brain doesn't file that as love. It files it as anxiety. You start walking on eggshells. You start over-explaining yourself. You start performing to earn attention that should have just been given freely. A lot of people mistake that anxious, addictive pull for passion. I can't stop thinking about them feels like love, but sometimes it's just your nervous system trying to make sense of unpredictability. Real love doesn't need to be chased in circles to feel real. It's steady enough that you can actually breathe. Quick question for you. Drop it in the comments. Has someone in your life ever shown you this kind of quiet, consistent love, and you didn't fully appreciate it until later? Or maybe you're the one giving it and wondering if it's even being noticed. I want to hear your story because I read every single comment on these videos. Now let's get specific, because consistency can sound vague if I don't break it down. Someone who truly loves you remembers the small things you mentioned once in passing, weeks ago, and brings them up like it was nothing. Not because they have a perfect memory, but because they were actually listening. They check in on the thing you were nervous about, the interview, the doctor's appointment, the hard conversation with your family, without you having to remind them it existed, and they apologize first, even when they're not entirely sure they're wrong, because keeping the connection matters more to them than winning the argument. And maybe the biggest one, they make room for your bad days without making you feel guilty for having them. That last one trips people up the most, because a lot of us have been trained to think love means someone's always happy around us. It doesn't. Love means someone stays even when you're not easy to be around. So here's what I want you to actually sit with after this video ends. Stop asking, do they love me enough to say it? Start asking, do they love me enough to show up for me on a random, unremarkable Tuesday when nobody's watching and there's nothing in it for them? That question will tell you more about a relationship than any anniversary, any gift, any late-night declaration ever could. And if you're realizing right now that someone in your life has been doing this for you, quietly, consistently, without asking for credit, maybe today's the day you actually tell them you noticed. That kind of love deserves to be seen. If this video helped you see your relationship, or even yourself, a little more clearly, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And if you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the psychology of love, attraction, and human behavior. Because I'm posting more of these every single week. Which of these signs do you think is the strongest proof of genuine love? Or is there another one you've experienced that deserves to be on this list? Until next time, take care of your heart and pay close attention to the people who protect it.